Hello and welcome to our Atomy podcast. We are here today with Carrie. You probably recognize her from all the seminars and hosting our launch event. So, hello Carrie,
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. We haven't seen each other since, well, it was a really, really hot day, wasn't it?
Yes.
In the height of the summer, and it was like there was a hot tub. It was such a good day.
No, it was for summer ODS.
Yeah.
That was, I have to say, I do miss the summer.
I
I need the hot weather now.
I'm such a sun seeker. And then like inflatables. It was such
I
a
know,
good
it
day.
was so much fun.
So that was the last time.
That was the last time, and now you're back,
And
finally.
it's freezing outside.
I know. But now this is a bit different. It's our little podcast.
Yeah.
You're new to this as well because you've never been on our podcast yet.
Yeah,
So
this is exciting.
welcome. So why don't you tell us a bit about yourself? Because obviously the members know a lot about you, kind of obviously see you a lot, but they don't really know much about you and who you are as a person. So why don't you...
I think that's one of the hardest questions to answer. Like when someone says, tell me about you, and you go, oh, okay. So where do I start? Like, yeah, I suppose in terms of presenting, I started on radio.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was quite lucky that one of our biggest stations, I suppose nationally, if you like, was in my hometown growing up. It was actually called Vibe FM at the time, and then Kiss FM bought it.
Oh, that makes sense.
So then I was on like the Kiss Breakfast Show, and I was broadcasting traffic and travel, but I was really young. So I was like,
How old
you
were
know,
you?
I was like, now you're going to go, no, you're actually an adult. But I think I started when I was like 18, 19. But you know when sometimes you can be like a young 18, 19
Yeah.
in this world of like, wow, you know,
I mean, that's...
I'm learning so much.
It's a lot younger than most people start nowadays, because
Yeah.
usually 18, 19 is when we're in university
Yeah,
still.
I skipped all of that. Oh, yeah, which I wouldn't advise. I mean, do what you need to do, but I did skip all of that. I just took the route of like going straight into the job,
Career
but it doesn't
focused.
always work well.
Hmm.
But it was fun. I've got lots of life experience. So yeah, I started in radio, and then I kind of made the move to London. And then that opened me up to loads of other work, like loads of other product launches, whether they be in, you know, when you see like a big setup in a shopping mall,
Yeah.
like a shopping centre, and it would be like a really big brand, and you're hosting and you're on the mic and you're getting everyone involved, and then maybe what's it called? Oh, I can't remember what it's called. When everyone does one of those dances, like a
like a flash mob.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it. Like one of those would be going on. So I would do like loads of work like that. And then I got into shopping TV, and then shopping TV changes. So I've kind of gone from one to another, but a much bigger one that I would class now. Yeah, it's one of the big ones. And then I kind of had this London lifestyle of, you know, I suppose, yeah, more about me. There's the work me. And then living in London, I was going out loads. I was loving the whole London nightlife.
Being independent.
Yeah.
So having kind of your own business, kind of your own independence, you get
Yeah.
to choose what you want to do, what you like to do.
Yeah.
And you got to branch out because you're so confident whenever you're hosting, and you obviously know what you're doing. So it's always so nice to see that you can build it without having gone to university or having that
Yeah.
experience in terms of studies.
Yeah, exactly. I think that is the thing. You know, you need to, if you don't go down that route of like, you know, like college, university, you've definitely got to be confident in terms of making your own contacts.
Yeah.
You've really got to be putting yourself out there. That's a big one. But yeah, I suppose there was an element of being kind of, when you said independent, like financially independent as well.
Yeah.
Because there I am, early 20s, living in London. I'm responsible for myself here. You know, like, oh my goodness, you just have to crack on. I remember going to, I mean, I'm going a little bit off topic. I remember going to clubs and things like that, and you might like only have like £20 on you. You know, like back in the day when you're not earning a lot, and you've just only scraped like paying your rent.
Yeah.
Times like that, and you've just got like, will I get home okay? And then the cheapest way is like night bus, and then again this crazy lifestyle of, and I'm older now, I look back and go, I wasn't safe. You know, when you go out in London, I bet I'm looking at you going, I bet this is you now. Like
it can be scary, especially living alone in like London.
Yeah.
It can be very scary, but it's also, again, such a great experience because it changes from Switzerland to London. Like it's two completely different worlds. So it is, I think, so good as well when you get to, even if it's university or not, you get to kind of build your own security and kind of your own confidence in a way.
Yeah, you have to grow up a lot.
Exactly.
You learn a lot. You have to get like street savvy, streetwise, all of that. So then, so going back to kind of, living in London, doing all of that, enhancing my kind of presenting like experience and the jobs I'd done. But then I also had a time where I was, office Carrie. I was a staffing manager for like experiential companies for years, but I always done the presenting on the side. That's where I kind of always kept. So it was like that. Love. Yeah, I'm always going to keep doing what I love, but the office work gave me stability. Yeah. So I was like, wow, what? I get holiday pay? What do you mean? If you're sick, you're kind of covered. I'm someone, I mean, times have changed now. I'm someone that, when you feel like you're on death's door and you've got a cold or a flu, and no, I'm going to work. Yeah. Times have changed now. Like you cough and someone goes, whoa, go home. Yeah. Where even was I? Right, yeah, so I'm in the office job in London. So then I went through this crazy period of working my socks off because I was a bit older now. So I'm kind of, at this stage, I'm like late 20s going into, hitting 30. Yeah. And I'm starting to think, I need to save. I've been having a great time, but I need to kind of get a bit smart now and I need to save. So I went through this period of doing a staffing manager job. So it's like, Monday to Friday, but it's also events or weekends. Yeah. So you're working all through the week to gear up to this event on the weekend. And then, it's happening on the weekend. So you're working at the week, you're on the phone, you're on emails. In the evenings, in the week, you're on the phone, you're on your emails. It's quite a stressful role and it's like full on. But at this time, I was also on Jackpot 24/7 on ITV. That was late at night. So my role for 6 years, and when I look at it now and I go, how did I do that? For 6 years, I'd done a full-time job Monday to Friday, like I said, evenings, weekends, all the rest of it. And 2 to 3 nights a week, I was on ITV live, and we would go live at about midnight, and I would do like 3 hours. We finished at 3 o'clock, and I was on a time thing then, like time pressure of getting home, getting to bed, because I've got to be up again in the morning. So I would leave my bag by the door, and I would, so there was no like going back to the dressing room, like my bag by the door, I would run outside to the car, drive back, clean my teeth when I got home, just jump into bed, and then I'd kind of have my alarm set for, it was like an hourly thing, alarm set for 7, sometimes 6:30 by the time I probably got out of bed. And then, at the tube station for 8, and I'm at work at 9. It was crazy.
I mean, that's what happens when you have drive. When you love what you're doing and you have kind of that, it's like at Atomy, like you always need to make sure that you have that vision in front of you and where you want to be in life. And that's the whole thing about building your business. And if you don't have that drive, it's what's so important. Is you need to be able to envision what you want to be or what you want in the future. And that, I think that's what you're portraying here, is the fact that you can do it. You can, you don't need the sleep. Everyone says, oh, you need minimum 7 hours sleep, but you don't actually need that. If you, in your mind, are telling yourself, no, I can do it, I need to do this, then it's so easily achievable. You just have to believe in yourself at the end of the day. I think that's the main point.
It's so true. And if you've got that drive, you've got the energy and you've got the fire to go. There will be a day where you have a day off and you relax and you kind of just get, maybe it is that you get that sleep back that you missed in the week. But when you've got that drive and you're like, I've got to do this and I'm doing it for me. No one else is gonna kind of, save for me. I'm not getting money from anywhere else to get my first home. I'm doing this for me. And it was a cross between, I'm doing a job where I've got the stability, but I love this other side of my work. And that's what I want to work towards, to then eventually, kind of where I'm at now. I'm lucky that I'm not in the office job. It was really stressful. It probably wasn't great for me. But I'm a creative person. I'm now doing what I love. yeah, so I'm kind of going, it's like all about your life. So I go home happy, I'm the happy wife, I'm the happy mum, because I'm doing what I love.
And that's
Yeah,
the goal.
it's
That's
really
the goal in
good.
life, honestly. I
Yeah.
think that's what everyone should, because everyone gets caught up in the whole I have to do an office job. But you don't have to. You can do what you want. If you want your own business, like build to that. Find your pathway in order to achieve that. But that has been great. We're going to go on a break and then we'll get into some more juicy questions afterwards. So I'll see you guys later.
You, who are passionate anytime, anywhere. If you want unchanging beauty, if you dream of an unchanging reputation, it's right here. Atomy Skincare System, the Fame. Because beauty always begins with a solid foundation. Loved worldwide beyond Korea, the Fame. There's a reason to be loved by so many people. With 10 years worth of technology, with a new material to lead a new myth. Protect your skin with honor. Unalterable, everlasting beauty. Atomy Skincare System, the Fame.
Welcome back from the break, everyone. So we are going to get into some more juicy questions and a bit more information about Carrie. So Carrie, what would you say is your favorite experience so far in presenting?
Ooh.
Overall, it doesn't have to be with Atomy, and then one with Atomy.
Okay, right, okay. So, I think two favourite experiences from presenting. When I got the ITV gig, I mean, you know, it's not like I was, you know, up there with Phil and Holly on This Morning, you know, or like the X Factor. But for me, when you're kind of, presenting it's a tough one. You're always trying to build yourself. You're always trying to get the next best job, and you've got goals, and some are really hard to get to. But to then get the job where, you know, I'm on an ITV at nighttime and I'm wearing a dress that I've picked and I love it, and I'm wearing my heels and I'm having fun, and you know, I'm loving what I'm doing. I go into work and it didn't feel like work. That to me was like I said earlier, I was there for 6 years. So I obviously loved it, and I only am not there now because it's not on our screens anymore. So the kind of ITV contract ended with the company, so it's not on telly anymore. I would still be there now if it was, and to my end of day. But I loved it, and I worked with great people, and it was super, super fun. So some nights I'd be coming on after, like, I don't know, Murder, She Wrote. And the viewer figures may not be quite up there. And then other nights I'd be coming on after like films like, you know, Bond or Ocean's 11 or something like that. And although the viewers aren't there to watch you, they're there because they've just watched that film.
Yeah. You've
got this excitement and buzz of, I'm about to go live to a lot of people. Yes, they're going to fizzle out, but it was just a great buzz. It was really exciting. So I loved that. And then another job that I got, which at the time when I got it, I was really I think I'd misread or misunderstood what I was doing. So I got the job of going out to Barcelona to present at the Mobile World Congress. And it happens around this, or at the end of February it happens actually, every year. And I went out there for I think 4 years running. And when I first kind of got the job, I was like, yay! I'm going to Barcelona, this is really cool.
Who doesn't love travelling?
Yeah, like travelling for a job is really exciting. But I think I misunderstood, and I had this vision that I was going to be stood at the front of an auditorium and like presenting to all of these people about a tech brand. And I was like, oh, I'm now a little bit stressed and really, really nervous. And then it was totally that I just understood the job brief. And then I got out there and it was really fun. So the Mobile World Congress is this huge exhibition of like all the big mobile brands, tech brands, you know, and I was working for one of those, and I was on a booth, and there was like this fun element of a game show, but based around the brand. So that the idea is people, you know, I'm there to kind of get people interested and get people on board. They take part in this game show, but they're having fun, but without knowing it, they're learning about the brand. So they're going away having kind of this knowledge, and I'm hosting it in an engaging and really fun way. And it was such fun. I absolutely loved it. And I just remember getting this job going, oh no, I'm really nervous. And then got out there and went, oh, this is brilliant, you know. So that was really cool. But yeah, like you said, like traveling with a job is it's
the
really
best.
exciting.
You get the best of
really
both
fun.
worlds.
Yeah.
And what would you say is like the best part of like these experiences? Like, as in, why do you love presenting? This is like my own personal question.
Yeah, no, it's a really good question because I do love what I do. But then if you break it down and go, but what is it about it? One of the things, because looking at this week for me, it's really versatile. Like, and that's, I think, I go, oh yeah, I think that's what I love. One of the things is that I'm able to be I do a job and I'm myself, so I'm putting my personality into something, but adapting slightly to suit the brand, you know. So it may be that I'm presenting to children one day, and then I would have to, you know, make my presentation relevant, or that I'm presenting to tech people. So again, I may not be like my bubbliest version because I don't want to lose these, you know, like I may have to tame myself down to get on their like tech level, you know. So it's all about that side of it is really interesting. But yeah, the versatility. So like this week, for example, I'm working with a car brand. I'm working with TikTok. I'm working with on shopping TV one day for a beauty product. Working with you guys today. And then I've got a podcast kind of thingy bob on Sunday. So that's a new job that I haven't done before. So I've got to do this kind of setup at home. I'm a little bit nervous about that, how that's going to go. But it's really varied.
That's so nice.
That's really exciting.
It's almost like you won't get bored ever about what you're doing, because like you said, an office job, you're just constantly doing almost the same thing every day, depending on what you do as a role, obviously. Yeah. But this is kind of like you get to do your own thing. Yeah,
like if I look at my diary in a couple of weeks, if there's nothing in there yet, which is often the case when you're self-employed, but the exciting thing is I don't know what's coming.
And you can choose as well, because since you're self-employed, you can go, if you don't have anything that week, you can go and find something in order.
Put myself out there.
Exactly.
Yeah. And like there might be jobs that I see and I just go, yeah, I could apply for it, but I don't think it's very me. Yeah. So I just go, do you know what? There'll be other things that I see and I'll be really passionate about it. So I apply for those jobs, and some you get, some you don't, but you know,
it's all putting yourself out there.
Exciting. Yeah, it really is exciting. Something different every week.
And so before we go on a break, what is your favorite experience within Atomy itself? Like when you presented for us, what would you say?
I'm trying to think back now to the first one I done with you, because I'm sure. What can you remember? I was with you. I met you that day for the first time.
Yes, I think it was the one before the summer.
Yeah.
I think it was. There was one ODS one-day seminar before the summer one-day seminar. Yeah. And then we did the summer one-day seminar, like in the heat.
Oh, see that's like in the forefront of my mind. That was such a hot day, and it was so just pure happy summer vibes. That was really cool. And then I'd done the live event.
Yep, the launch event.
Where I was with Rob.
Yep.
Yes. When you worry then, that is Rob, isn't it? It's Rob, isn't it? And I was in a glitzy dress, and the stage was amazing. That was great. That was really cool.
Was that the last one you did with us?
I think so. Yeah.
So now you're back here, really and then now the future ones you'll be able to go.
I know. Yeah, because everyone's always different, like at a different place, a different setting. So that's exciting. Well, you guys do a good job of making it look like amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, we do it for all our members, so
exactly.
Be happy. Right, so we're going to go on another quick little break so we can have just a glass of water, and then we'll be right back.
Our skin cherishes youth and beauty. Everything you need, particularly for those who don't want to miss out any. And technology evolves. 4 technologies of Atomy skincare, along with 2 additional breathtaking technologies, have earned a patent following years of research. Cell Active Code that stops our skin from aging thanks to the discovery of optimal ratio of highly functional ingredients in the wild to revitalize our skin. Cell Active Technology, an automatic transfer technology that delivers the Cell Active Code in a precise manner. An overwhelmingly de-aging technology that transfers highly effective ingredients to your skin. As we have all yearned for so long, it is time to realize your dream right before you, in your palm. Our technology is more advanced than you think. As our skin requirements change, technologies evolve. Absolute Cell Active Toner. Absolute Cell Active Ampule. Absolute Cell Active Serum. Absolute Cell Active Lotion. Absolute Cell Active Eye Complex. Absolute Cell Active Nutrition Cream. The jewel of skin science in the 21st century. Let Cell Active keep your skin eternally flawless.
Welcome back to the Atomy podcast. So our next question today, Carrie, what would you say for kind of all our members as well, what your top tips would be for being self-employed?
Oh, yeah. Being driven. Like, yeah, nothing's gonna come to you. You know, even, you know, this whole thing of, and I love to manifest. I was going to say manifestation. I love to manifest and all of that business and law of attraction. But there's a lot about, and I believe in all of that and I love it. But you could sit there on your sofa and go, I'm thinking about it. I'm manifesting it.
It's going to come right in my living room.
There's got to be an element of you have to be putting yourself out there. And putting yourself out there is networking as well. You know, making those contacts, even if it's going to events where, you know, it's relevant within your industry and what you're doing, and supporting others as well. Like, you know, not being in competition with others, supporting other people doing similar or the same, you know. Yeah, that's a big one. And being organised, because you know, it's your time. It depends what kind of person you are. People are organised on their phone and it works for them. I'm a paper diary kind of person.
I'm the exact same
Really?
thing. If something's on a screen, I find it, I don't know why, but very hard to get it into my head.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's written, and I will literally draw out my calendar and like write my notes and my meetings and have that, or I'm an organization freak almost.
I love paper and pen.
Even sometimes Ruby is like, why do you do this for so long? I'm like, I need it.
Yeah.
Mentally, I need
like
it.
like a highlighter. You know,
everything needs to be highlighted and like crossed out if I've done the job or if I have notes. Even if I have to like research stuff, I refuse to write my notes up on my laptop. I will do the laptop to do my research and to write out like essays or whatever, emails, whatever I need to write up. But in terms of notes, if I have to do the research about a product or whatever it might be, it needs to be on paper.
Yeah.
And I think that's also been lost quite a bit. But
yeah, but and again, it's like everyone's different. Everyone like learns differently, for example, and everyone, you know, with organisation, people do things differently. But it works for you, and it works for me. So like, if something's really important, I might put it in a different colour, or you know, I'll tick something off. Even if it's things like, I've invoiced that, right, done, tick. A second tick, right, I've been paid for that.
it could be the
you need
littlest
to look back
things.
through your diary and kind of catch up on the jobs you've done, and then look kind of into the future and go, what do I need to prepare for? What's coming up? Yeah.
I think it really helps as well, because even
it works for you.
Some days, I don't know about you, but I know that some days I feel so disorganized, especially in my head. I've got so much going on. So I will literally write the simplest things like do your makeup or go shower.
To-do lists.
Like it's literally a list where it's like work, go shower.
Yeah.
Work, go on a walk.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it's unnecessary to write it down, but sometimes it does help because it gets that out of your head and then you can focus really on what you need to do.
I'm such a to-do list person as well. So we've been doing up our house, and that started in lockdown. And you kind of have all the time in the world in lockdown, but actually we still needed to like prioritize and write things like, actually, well, these jobs need to get done today. Those jobs are not today. Yeah. They're like next week, you know, like, so prioritizing what you need to do. And if it's things like, even like social media content, because it might be social media content that's helping you with what you do, putting things out there, keeping it relevant. So putting out, even if it's a post, you know, get it out there. Or if it's a reel or something on LinkedIn, you know, even if you need to write down and schedule, right, on Tuesday, or whether it be, right, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday I'm going to put something out. I think that's a really, I need to get better at that with kind of, because I have fun on my social media. I love it. But actually, if I was a bit more organised in terms of, I'm going to put something work related up.
Yeah.
At the same time on these days, maybe, you know, it's things like that. But yeah.
It's always that fine line as well when you have your own business or you're, you know, self-employed. You kind of have to figure out that kind of barrier between professionalism and more like your personality on your platform, because I know some people that have their own businesses but they're so bubbly and they love jokes, but then they have to keep it way more toned down because their social media is essentially their business. It's their way of getting out there, so it can be quite tough as well to know that like kind of fine line between, okay, what do I actually post, what can I post? So I feel like that's
like
also
remember who follows you.
Exactly.
You know, maybe it's your like kind of, you know, your boss or the equivalent of your boss in kind of whatever it is you're doing. Remember the people following you. Or sometimes I think of one person who's really, really like important that follows you, and it's sometimes a case of, okay, if I put this up, would I be really like chuffed if they saw it, or would I be like, oh my god, don't see this? Sometimes that's a good way to gauge it and to manage it.
Yeah, I agree. So you'd say those are kind of your top tips in terms of self-employment, because I feel like a lot of our members as well, sometimes they do struggle with kind of motivation or finding those jobs, which can be quite hard. So maybe what would be your like major help to them?
You have to have drive. And then being organised can give you that drive as well, because if you sometimes, and for me, if I wake up and I haven't made a to-do list, I'm a bit like on my days off, I should say. I've got so much to do, like in terms of, I'm a mum, but I'm doing up our house as well. So on my days off, if I need to finish a room, if I need to do some caulking, if I need to paint, you know, a second coat on, I need to be organised and I need to prep for that. And a lot of what I'm doing is in my little boy's nap. So I've like got 2 to 3 hours to play with. So whatever it is you're doing, whether it's in a home kind of sense, if you like, or whether it's your work and your career and what you're striving towards, you've got to have drive, you've got to be organised, because you've got to know what your next steps are. Yeah. And actually, if you don't, you know, like, how much do you want it?
That's very true.
If you're not, like, sometimes you might have to get up earlier to go, well, I'm going to do an hour of this before I start my normal job. Because sometimes people have got a job that they're doing in the background, but actually they're not striving to get kind of further in that. They've got something on the side. Like a bit like me when I was in my office job, I knew I wasn't striving to do better in this office job. Like, there were roles above me and I was like, I know I'm not going for them. I've got this other thing. For me, it was my presenting. That's what I'm striving towards. Yeah. So, and a lot of people like this kind of, you know, industry as well, people will have their jobs, they're dying to get out of those jobs to kind of grow in something that they can manage themselves, and it will be their baby, their business. You know.
Sometimes I think you need, like, so easy to kind of get that demotivation, because you're like, oh, like 1 week could just be really bad, because especially when you're self-employed, like, you don't have that stability. So it could be 1 week where you hit a rut or it's not going well, and then you could so easily just get off track and like stop being organized, stop having that drive that was within you. Yeah. But then you have to remind yourself, okay, this is what I want to do in life.
You've got to get through those weeks.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, it could sound a bit extreme, but it's actually not. Like, the people with, I don't know, I suppose really successful businesses, they didn't have a bad week and go, oh, do you know what? I can't do it. I'm not doing it. That's it. Like, they've got through those bad weeks. And it's a bit like me with my, you know, when I look in my diary, I will have a week like this week, which is really busy for me. And then next week, maybe, less busy. And I'll be like, oh, you know, but I've had that throughout, I've never stopped. Yeah. I've had that throughout my whole adult life of being kind of all the times I've been self-employed. But for the weeks like this week, and for the weeks where I've, you know, been in Barcelona, and the weeks I've been doing a tour of the UK for some brand, that's what I'm doing it for all those days and all those weeks that I love, and for the fact that I'm managing my own time. and I'm doing what I love and I'm happy. So it's all worth it. You've just got to stick at it, and every week like reach new goals as well. It's like keep going and keep building.
That is very true, and I do really like that. Everyone, listen
that.
to Carrie. Okay, right. So we are going to head on to our next or last final question. But before that, we'll take another little break. Go to the bathroom, everyone, or have a sip of whatever you're drinking, and we'll be back. Yeah. I'll get you one.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Atomy podcast. So, Carrie, the final question that we have for you. What is your favorite Atomy product?
I would say, because it's something I use, and it comes with so much stuff and I use it all the time, and I think it's that one there. It's the Absolute set. Yeah.
It's a bunch of like the members' favourites,
yeah.
basically.
Well, it kind of comes with everything you need in your skincare regime.
Everything.
Yeah.
And it's great because you can skip things out. Like if you're having a rush day, you could just be like, okay, great. Like I'll just use the toner, use the ampule to give myself a little bit of a extra glow, and then just put on some lotion and then like the eye cream, and then you're set.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because like for me, and I think I've always been like this with a skincare regime. It's not something. I'm not one of those that's like, I'm going to do it every night and I'm going to do it every morning. I kind of have my times where maybe if it's when like I wash my hair and I go really extreme with it, I'm going to do hair mask and everything. And then because that's going to be like an evening where I've got more time.
Yeah.
So then I go, do you know what? Now I'm going to cleanse and I'm going to tone and I'm going to moisturize and I'm going to do the serum and I'm going to do the full works. And then I've got other products and actually within the set, like the moisturizer, like the serum, that actually I will try and do every day.
Yeah.
So but you've got enough in there to really play with and to kind of work around how your lifestyle is. Yeah, how you fit it in.
I think that's kind of like the beauty of it as well, because as much as yes, it is a full set and it's great when you do use the full set because you really do feel that difference.
Yeah.
But it is very different. Like Korean lifestyle is like they love the whole skincare style. Like I wish I could have like something nearly close to their skin.
Yeah.
Like the most beautiful skin.
Yeah.
But it's because of the fact that they stick to that kind of step. But in the Western world, like I know that I never really knew about any kind of skincare sets until I worked for Atomy.
Yeah.
I would never use it. And I feel like we're also so much more picky maybe, and even to say like I think we have more issues. Not issues, but like I know that I have very sensitive skin.
Yeah.
And I feel like that just happens more with like the Western culture.
Yeah.
Like we're more, I don't know, we don't like going outside of our comfort zones. But then when we do get to try it, I'm like, actually, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
And when you can have that evening pamper where you can do your mask, do your skincare set, and then like go to bed, and you're like,
yeah. Well, they're so much more advanced in their kind of skincare technology, aren't they? And for me, I get like dry areas, and when I'm on camera, that's like one of the things for me I'm most, I was going to say insecure. It's a worry, because I'm like, how do I look at, not in a vain kind of way, but because I mean that's one of the reasons when you're on camera, the lighting is such a, for the production team, the crew, they're concentrating on the light because they want the broadcast or whatever's going out to look the best. So it's the thing, you're not going to go out and there's a kind of massive shadow across your face. So when you think about that, the same with your kind of makeup and your appearance. You want to look the best you could possibly look. You want your makeup to sit right, and your makeup sits right when your skin is to the best of its kind of standard, if you the best standard of your skin. But yeah,
and sometimes you don't realize it until you actually do actually implement skincare into your daily life, because I was like, yeah, I'm fine, like I might get dry skin here and there, but then when I actually started using a proper skincare set, I was like,
that's been created to work together as well.
Exactly.
That's what I really love.
It is actually incredible when you think about like all the technology and everything that's been put into it to make, like, it's all in there. Like, it's all one.
Need, really. Yeah. I love it.
Well, that's great. So, I mean, the absolute set, you guys all know it. So I think that's it for today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. I know, it was very nice to see you again. It's been way too long.
I know.
And hopefully we'll see you
on another hot day that comes a lot sooner than, like,
fingers crossed.
Like an early hot spring day would be ideal.
Well, let's hope that London changes its weather and kind of decides to warm up a little bit. But until then, guys, thank you for joining us as well on this podcast. Carrie, again, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And we will see you soon. Stay tuned for our next podcast. Bye.